Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer. Oh, wow. And a beautiful Friday morning it is. Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. I got to say this, first of all. I am pretty sure, without a doubt, that you had a beautiful Thanksgiving. I hope that you didn't overly eat. This did really get stuffed, you know, like the stuffing from the turkey. That's my joke for today. But listen, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And, of course, today is Black Friday, and everybody's out doing everything. You see, some of us have to work. What do you think about that? Well, today, just like every other day, I have something special that we're going to talk about today. I have a gentleman in with me that I met years ago, and we had the opportunity. We reconnected here a couple of weeks ago, and it is absolutely amazing. I think that sometimes God has things planned the way He wants it so you can reconnect and connect again, and that's exactly what happened. I met him when I was doing radio, and he was also doing the same great things that he's doing now. He's in the Marines, and of course, he is also the chaplain, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
How are you, Timothy?
It's good, and I'm good, and it's good to see you again.
Yeah, same here. And you know what? It was such a pleasure running into you the other night. We were out at the Veterans Association.
Yes, ma'am.
And the thing that is so beautiful, I love that reconnect when you made me realize where I had met you before. And then now look at us again, connecting to talk about all the good things that you do and that you continue to do.
Yes,
and let
ma'am.
me say thank you for this. For all your services, thank you so very much.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. You're worth it, and so is everyone else. That's why we do what we do.
Absolutely. Well, now, first of all, let's talk about, you have a nonprofit, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's talk about that.
All right. It's run through my church, which is Redemption Church, off of Bush Street, off of Pine Forest Road, and it's called Be the Miracle. And I got that from when I was 16. I got saved, and what that means, you know, I bowed my knee and accepted that there was a God Almighty, and I needed Jesus Christ to be my Lord and Savior to help me on my way. And immediately I knew I was called to be a servant.
Right.
And so I started going to Loaves and Fishes homeless shelter, and I started going to Homestead Alzheimer's place on Pine Forest Road.
Exactly, I know exactly what it is.
So I had a buddy that played the guitar and he'd sing, and I would go out and I would speak. And so I had this like crazy faith. I just wanted to change the world.
Oh.
And so, you know, we're in there and he's singing and we're praying for people, and I'm talking about God's love, and I'm kind of sulking over in the corner afterwards. And one of the nurses, she was a elderly, like grandma lady, and she says, "Child, what's wrong with you?" And I said, "I expected to see miracles, because I want to see people get out of their beds, walk out of the room,
now.
you know."
Faith.
And she says, "You see that man tapping his foot over there?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She says, "He's paralyzed from the waist down." She said, "You're in an Alzheimer's place. You see the couple sitting over there next to each other?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She says, "Half the time they don't know they're married. They're over there holding hands. You are being the miracle."
Oh.
And so I joined the Marine Corps, and all throughout the Marine Corps I was doing different, I would volunteer at the churches and do things. Wherever I was stationed at, I was still being a servant in what God called me to do. And so when I come home, we started helping kids in the schools and foster care for Christmas and Easter baskets and all the things that we were doing. And it came back to me what that lady said. We're being the miracle. And so that's what I started calling it. We're just, because prayer and love is an action word.
Yes, it is.
So I can pray for you, but if you're hungry, I can also feed you.
Absolutely.
So I'm answering the prayer, I'm being the miracle, and that's what Be the Miracle is all about.
That is simply beautiful, and I love it to see, because you're a young man, you're out there, you know where all of your help and your strength come from.
Yes, ma'am.
And I mean, to go out and do the things that you're doing, I think is beautiful. And I think we need more of that in the world today.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
Because I think if a lot of people would understand what it means to become saved, to understand that we're put here to be of service.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think that the world will be a better place. And I'm right there with you. We're going to be the miracle together.
That's
because
right.
I believe in that so strongly. And with your nonprofit, with that, I heard you talk about the things you do, like you're doing for Easter. You go out to all these facilities where people are in need.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, how do you make that connection? What do you do? Give me some of the things how you go out to support them.
Okay, well, one I have to say, because one of my slogans is, we cannot be the miracle without angels like you.
Oh.
So first and foremost, we don't get monthly donations or grants or anything like that.
Right.
So when it comes time for Christmas and all, we start doing fundraisings and things like that. But I have to say, like, I get a lot of support because I'm the chaplain with the Marine Corps League.
Yes.
And without them, I mean, it would be so hard without their support.
Right.
I get a lot of support from our state rep, Michelle Salzman, and backpacks for the kids in schools and stuff like that. Fearless Outreach, Melissa there, she gives me socks.
Oh.
And so for the kids and the homeless and stuff, Brian Ballard at Sportsman Give Back, he helps us, and he'll call and say, hey, we got a veteran in need, and we work together with feeding the veterans and stuff.
Right.
So the things that we do, it's just a connection. It's building bridges. It's that old saying that it takes a village to raise a child.
Absolutely.
Well, it takes every one of us coming together, because I'm not in competition with anybody.
I agree.
So there's nobody, if I see you feeding the homeless, that melts my heart. I don't get angry and it's like, that's my job.
That's
no,
right.
we need to work together, because you may have the socks I need to go in the Christmas bag.
Most certainly.
You may have, like, fish buying orthodontists giving toothbrushes. Things like that, where we don't have to go out and buy that, because we're buying shoes and we're buying food and we're buying, so it saves that money for something else. So it takes every one of us to make this miracle happen.
I think that is so great, because when you say that, because sometimes there are ones, I do believe, and I do a lot in the community as well, and I believe, and I always do my hands like this when we do this and put everything together. There's nothing that we can't do to make it better.
Yes,
if
ma'am.
we put all of our resources together, it doesn't matter. We all want to win the game, but it doesn't matter who gets the ball across the goal line.
Yes, ma'am.
It's the fact that we won.
That's it.
You know?
And it's better if we go across the finish line together. And let me say, because let me apologize for this, because what we will talk about too is one of the fundraisers going on this weekend with Bubba's. Bubba's 33. They're so supportive of me, and I didn't mention them, and I apologize about that. But they're so wonderful that anything that we need for our veterans, our community, I can call Shannon or TJ over there and say, hey, we're doing this. They said, just tell us when you win what you want us to do.
Exactly.
And so that's the kind of thing that helps us to be the miracle. So it might be my post on Facebook, and it might be my face sitting here, and it might be people thinking I'm doing these great things, but I'm not doing it without other people pushing
Absolutely.
me.
You're so right. Because when we do it collectively, we can do some.
Yes, ma'am.
We can be the miracle.
That's right. We can be the miracle.
No
It's
doubt.
not just my thing.
Exactly.
It's everybody's thing.
It's everybody. And I want to commend you on that, because I think that's absolutely beautiful. And even the other night when we were there, it was, even with your prayer, your faith is what I could feel and see.
Yes, ma'am.
And that was just so heartwarming to me, because I just want everybody to know who he is.
Yes.
You know, and once you develop that relationship with him, he said that he would do all that it is. All we got to do is ask him.
Yes.
Because he's our Father.
Right.
You know?
Well, and the beautiful thing is, the more we realize how holy he is, the more we realize how much we need him. And so how desperately inside us, where the Bible says we can't even trust our own heart.
That's right.
There's nothing good about us until Christ comes in us.
Absolutely.
And I pray all the time, Lord, break my heart with what breaks your heart. And I say this, and I don't mean I love missionaries, they do a great work, but my mission field is Escambia and Santa Rosa County.
There you go.
I don't have to go across the world to see somebody hurting. They're hurting right here across the street.
Home.
In our backyard, they're hurting.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, boldly, I'm going to say I want to be a part, if not the part, that ends homelessness in Escambia and Santa Rosa County.
How beautiful.
I want to be the one that ends veteran suicide in Escambia and Santa Rosa County. I want to be that miracle. And God says if we do the possible, he'll do the impossible.
Absolutely.
And so Philippians 4:13 says I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me.
Yes.
And that's my boot camp verse too. Lord, get me through this. What did I sign up for? I could have easily went to the Air Force. What am I doing here? And so, no disrespect to our Air Force. I love you guys.
Absolutely.
So, but it's just it. It's just changing the world. And that's the point of being the hands and feet of Christ.
Right.
You know, we have to get out and do things.
I agree.
And so there was times when Jesus spoke and they were healed, but a lot of times he was out there laying his hands on people.
That's right.
And if we don't get out there and show the love of Christ, and sometimes it takes hugging somebody that's broken.
Tell me about
it. And that's, you know, it's those things that just changes somebody's world, and that's being their miracle. We don't have to buy somebody a home.
Thank you.
Buying somebody a meal can change the world.
Just to hear somebody say, I love you.
Yes, that's so powerful. And to mean it.
3 words.
People know when you mean it, and to mean it.
Exactly.
So, and if we can't see people where they are, we will never see them where they can be.
Exactly. I agree with you 100% because that is, I could sit here and talk to you all day.
Oh, hey, let's do it. Let's do a whole weekend.
Let's do a whole weekend.
Let's do a whole weekend.
But we're talking about a fundraiser that we're going to be doing this weekend,
yes,
right?
Ma'am.
Let's get that started so we can come back and talk about that all throughout the show. How's this going to work?
All right, so you can come to Bubba's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11 to 2. And so
today at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock till 2 o'clock. You can bring cash. You can bring unwrapped toy. And just bring it to us. We'll have a box. We'll have a donation box. I will be standing there. I'll have some of my Be the Miracle friends standing there. And just come and we can take Cash App, Venmo, whatever's necessary. And all that goes to Christmas for kids. And it gets bigger each year. When I started Be the Miracle, it was one school that we started with.
Okay.
And that counselor talked to another counselor, and then we post something on Facebook, and then I got families reaching out. And so even here I have from Children's Home Society, they asked if we could help, and I said, give me your 20 kids in the worst conditions that are absolutely getting nothing, and that's what I got. So that adds to the list. We're doing My Father's Arrow, bikes for all the kids. There's 30 kids in that foster care, or I'll be honest, I don't know if it's orphanage, whatever we call it.
I understand, but then they need help.
Right, and we're also, Texas Roadhouse is going to feed them that night.
Oh.
So we're going to go out and do a Christmas with those kids, bring them bikes, bring them food, and I told them we wanted to feed them, and the counselor said, can we do anything other than pizza? Everybody does pizza. I said, I got you. I said, I got a connection. Texas Roadhouse are wonderful people. We got it.
Did you say you're going to take it to the home? You're going to go to the house?
We're going. It's out in so My Father's Arrow, and I've been out there a few times. We brought them socks. We brought things out. So what I'm told and what I know is these are kids that they didn't get adopted. They got nowhere to go. They got no family. They're out there. So we just brought 200 pairs of socks, and the picture the counselor sent me, how happy those kids were just to get socks. It broke my heart. It was such a bittersweet because I was so happy they were happy, but I'm thinking, good Lord, this is over socks.
Exactly.
And so we're doing bikes for every one of the kids out there.
Oh, now you're going to get some happy children.
Man, and I can't wait. So they said, will you come do Christmas with us? And we want to do dinner and all that. So we're going to go out there and do that. My wife and stuff, we're all going to go out there with them.
Oh, how beautiful.
And spend that night with them and do that. But, and it's I have this list from last year, and I can tell you like 405 kids in the schools that we made Christmas bags for. Oh man!
How many?
Let me read because
Share
if I
out,
don't.
that's right.
So there was 83 kids in one school, 225 kids in the other. We did 47 kids in an apartment complex. We give out 15 brand new bikes. $200 went for gift cards for veterans overseas so they could call home. We paid for a veteran, he needed a specialized wheelchair, it was $400. We did $150 for a wheelchair for a 9-year-old girl that woke up with a spinal infection and couldn't walk. And then as you see the list, these are all people, that have reached out and asked for, and they give me the kid's name, boy or girl, what they like.
So these are the ones that you got to do this year?
This is what we did last year.
Oh, that's last year?
That's last year.
Okay.
And so... And just to show, so then it's like 4 kids in Ronald McDonald House, 308 kids in the school, 2 angel trees, 17 pairs of shoes, and we also took care of a 19-year-old single mother. And the Marine Corps League was real big on that. So I made a post, and we got diapers, clothes. I mean,
Absolutely.
we took it for a whole year. We took care of the kid.
Absolutely.
But here's just for non-related Christmas stuff. We did. I do packages for veterans to do their appeals and their disability and stuff. I do that on a day-to-day basis. So it was 17 packages for veterans to get their disability benefits. We did 82 Easter baskets, 51 backpacks for kids in school. We did a freezer for our church, 15 lice kits for the school. The counselor will call me if they have a child that gets lice. They can't come back to school until they've been treated.
Right.
Their family may not be able to afford it.
Exactly.
So we did 15 lice kits.
Oh, Jesus.
I got 2 homeless veterans off the street into housing. I delivered 22 bikes to homeless veterans. And I personally mentored 47 veterans that were struggling with PTSD and traumatic brain injury, because I'm also a mentor at a place called Long Walk Home, and that's for veterans to end veteran suicide.
You do so much.
I do so much.
And that's hold on right there. I tell you what, we're talking with, you see as we talk, might be Black Friday, But look, we've got some of the best things that you need to know about on this Black Friday right here. We talk with Timothy Chandler.
Yes, ma'am.
And he is with the Marine Corps, and you are the chaplain there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. We're going to talk more with him about all the great things that he's doing and the fundraiser that I want you to be a part of. Stay close right here on Sunshine's Corner.
Good day, Pensacola. Welcome to a new segment on health and wellness sponsored by Baptist Healthcare in partnership with Sunshine's Corner. Every first Wednesday of the month during Sunshine's telecast, we're going to be bringing you information about health and wellness and ways to make sure we're improving the quality of your health care here in Pensacola. After all, we want to ensure that you're going to the right place at the right time and for the right reason, and that you don't feel alone. Can't wait to see you.
Empire Truck Sales, located at 2255 West Detroit Boulevard in Pensacola, is your Freightliner, Western Star, Detroit Diesel, and Cummins dealer for Northwest Florida. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., providing sales, service, and parts. Empire Truck Sales is also your Oasis dealer for Freightliner custom chassis RV and motorhome repairs. Running I-10 will get you in.
Many who consider facial plastic surgery are concerned their results will look unnatural. But with over 20 years of serving the Pensacola community, his thousands of satisfied patients have made Dr. Derek Jones a trusted reconstructive and facial plastic surgeon known for industry-leading results that look natural. Call 850-484-FACE to schedule a consultation at one of our locations in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze.
I'm Dr. Derek Jones. Trust your face to a facial plastic surgeon.
At Pensacola Habitat for Humanity, we believe every child should have a safe place to grow. That's why we work with you and the community to build not just a house, but a home.
She worked very hard to get this house. I really appreciate that because, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here right now.
When you help build a home, you build a future. Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
And welcome back to this Friday edition. Well, we made it through Thanksgiving. Now we got to talk about, the holidays are really here now. We're talking about Christmas right around the corner. And we are talking with a young man. I'll tell you, I just love his spirit so much. I mean, Timothy Chandler, I tell you, I could sit here and talk to you all day because of the spirit that's on this inside of you, because I recognize that spirit because he dwells in me as well.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just appreciate all the things that you're doing. And we were talking off camera on how many things that, even with the veterans that you do.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, it's so much that needs to be done, and people are reaching out. But if a person want to help you with your fundraiser, I want to know how we can help with that fundraiser that you've got going on.
All right. Well, and again, you can come to Bubba's this weekend. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Come today, tomorrow, Sunday from 11 to 2. You can find me on Facebook, Timothy Chandler. You can find Be the Miracle on Facebook. But toys, donations, things like that, everything we can put in the Christmas bag, everything we can take to the kids. And so, because we put a couple of toys, we put a book from to read, we put a toothbrush, toothpaste, we put deodorant, we put socks in there, and then we'll get, like I said, from the Children's Home Society or foster care, and then we'll have the special, hey, we need this many pairs of shoes this size, we need this size of pants, this shirt, and I'll get with my church and I'll start reading some of them off for people. I said, who can help with this?
Right.
And I'll just start crying because you got a kid, their wish list is deodorant and their own shampoos.
Not asking these things that you get other kids asking for.
I never get a list for, hey, we want a PlayStation, we want this, we want that.
Right.
No, I mean, we want our own toothbrush, we want our own shampoo.
So you can have that.
And you just can't help but to wonder, the things that we take for granted.
Took the words off my lips. The little things that they need, they're asking for toothbrush, deodorant, things of like this you would never think that a child will be asking for. But the fact of it is, because of sometimes that we are more fortunate than others, but that's, I think, is so important for us not to forget those
Yes, ma'am.
that are without.
Right.
And I'll tell everybody anytime, I mean, so you never know what tomorrow brings. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. But the fact of it is, when God has blessed you to be able to help somebody else, do so. extend that hand. It is better to give
right.
than
Yes,
it is
ma'am.
to receive all the time.
That's right.
You know, and these children, they're in need. And when you said the foster care,
Yes, ma'am.
can you imagine that these kids, I mean, on the holidays,
Right.
and just to say that don't even have a toy.
Right.
They,
Well,
go right ahead.
And it's, you know, if you ever get, and this, you know, kind of like with the school, it started when my kids were younger. One's in middle school, one's in high school now. But when they were in elementary school, I'd go eat lunch with them a couple of times a
Right.
week. And it started with a kid that needed a pair of shoes. His
Right.
toe was coming up. And,
Of course.
And so we bought shoes, and that's how this whole thing got started. So for the first couple of years, me and my wife did everything out of our savings.
Of course.
And then it got bigger and bigger. And like,
Of course,
okay.
so we got to find a way.
Right, but when you see a kid, and this is the thing, like with how we got involved with the foster care, because I'm sitting there eating lunch with my daughter, and I think she was probably in 4th grade at the time, and the little girl next to her just started crying. I said, "Baby, you okay?" She goes, "I miss my dad." And I'm thinking, because I do a lot with the military kids there too. I said, "Is he deployed or no? He's dead."
Oh my God.
And it broke my heart. And so and it was during February, because I always brought, when they were little, I always brought my kids candy and flowers to school for Valentine's Day. Well, I brought some for that little girl too.
Oh, how sweet.
And I let the counselor, hey, let her mom know this. You know, this is why
Exactly.
a grown man, you know. And so I realized then there's kids in foster care that don't have nobody.
Exactly.
No mom, no dad,
daddy,
no grandma,
nobody.
nobody. And they're wondering why nobody loves them.
That's right.
And if we can bring just Christmas, if that's the only time they feel loved, sometime in their life they can look back and say, somebody loved me enough to bring me Christmas. I am worth something.
Exactly.
And all it takes is one glimmer of hope.
That's right.
To change somebody's life. And they can pull themselves out of whatever pit that life has found them in.
Absolutely. Now, the fundraiser is going to kick off, of course, they're kicking off today at 11 o'clock until 2, tomorrow 11 until 2, and Sunday as well.
Yes,
now,
ma'am.
the address of Bubba's is on
It's on Davis
Highway, right there by BJ's.
By BJ's, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So
I know, I've been there quite a few times.
That's right. That's right. And they got good food.
They got good
You can
food.
eat there. In fact, you donate, you'll get a little card, either for free appetizer, or your next meal will be free, or whatever.
Wow.
But you'll get
Giving
something.
and then receiving.
And receiving. That's right. So you're blessing a child, you're blessing a family, and you're getting blessed with some fried pickles. So
Absolutely.
it
So
all
everybody,
works out.
please make it a point that, okay, I know you're out. A lot of people are going to be out today shopping. Some of you got up early before the sunrise and went out early. But the fact of it is, when you see this, make sure you go out and take part. It's going to be all weekend long, so that you can help a child that's, especially during this holiday season. If it's a pair of socks, if it's a doll, whatever it is. If you want to give $1,000, we'll take that too.
That's right. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You know.
So, and it all goes, look, there's nobody, this is all, I live on my retirement. I don't get paid for being a pastor. I don't get paid for being a chaplain. The Marine Corps League doesn't pay me. Be the Miracle, the church doesn't pay me. So all this goes, I don't take money for gas, nothing.
There you go.
All goes right back to the community. Everything you give is going to go to a child and a family in need. I am blessed. My kids are blessed. And so, you know, you're blessing somebody that doesn't
Absolutely.
have.
And you know, I'm a strong believer of this too. See, when God put that mantle on you, that you had to do this, I mean, He knew what He was doing. That was chosen before time, that was a part of your life. And you have taken that up and you're doing it well. Because of the fact, ladies and gentlemen, I honestly believe that I just think that we could do so much to help, because there's so much going on right here.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Now, you will be dishonest with yourself if you did not say that you can't see it.
Right.
Even with the veterans. And I'm going to tell you, because I learned I met a lot of people when we went to the veterans, that was a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, ma'am.
A couple Saturdays ago.
Right.
But it was so much that was going on, even for the things that they do to try to help.
Right.
And I believe that, and I say this because I believe it, Timothy, put what we have together to help.
Yes.
And we can make a huge difference.
Yes,
now,
ma'am.
I want to talk about these pictures I see here on this poster. I see you doing with the motorcycles. I see motorcycles. No, those are bicycles.
Bicycles.
I thought that was a motorcycle. Okay, all of these events that you've given away.
Yes, ma'am.
Look at that. Well, talk about these.
All right. So this is each year we help with Toys for Tots.
Right.
Because they help us with toys, and so I also believe in giving back. You know, you take care of those, take care of you.
Right.
And so this was last year at Toys for Tots we were doing. We do also. I'd like to mention Wreaths Across America.
Okay.
And so what we do is you go on the Marine Corps League website. You can sponsor a wreath right here for the Barranca Cemetery, and we go out. And that's my daughter and my niece. And we go out, and some of the Marines and the Marine Corps League were out there. So we put wreaths on every grave of the veterans that are out there. So every white tombstone that's a lot. And then we'll go out and we'll have to do a cleanup a couple of weeks after Christmas. But every veteran gets a wreath for Christmas. So you can go on the Marine Corps League website and look at how to do that. And so.
Now, what was this here?
These are the Christmas bags that we take to the schools and all.
Okay.
So we'll get a counselor tell us, hey, we got 45 girls, we got 51 boys, whatever it is, and those are the bags we stack. When we started, I don't have my other board with me, but all we had was stockings, and now we're up to bags. And I mean,
growing.
Huge
It's growing.
bags.
It's
yes,
growing.
ma'am.
It's growing.
And so this was Bubba's last year. We did with Be the Miracle. And so this is some backpacks I got from our state rep, Michelle Salzman. So we covered a couple of schools and a whole apartment complex.
Okay.
So, and every kid got a brand new backpack with pencils, pens, paper, stuff
everything,
like that.
the tools that they need.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And so, and of course, Be the Miracle support. This says Bush Street Church. We changed our name to Redemption. So my members will give me a hard time on this.
I hear you.
And our lead pastor, he'll say something. But it's Redemption Church now.
That's right.
And of course, I'm always big on. I got the Veterans Crisis Line, so if we got veterans in trouble or need help, and of course at the bottom is a Long Walk Home, and that's where I'm a mentor with to help veterans dealing with transition to civilian life, and those that have either attempted or have voiced that they wanted to commit suicide. So we try to help them get back to civilian life and come back home mentally and emotionally.
Listen, I tell you, you are doing so many things.
Yes, ma'am.
And I mean, but it's so, like I said, I see it on you. And really, I got to say this again, because when I was listening to the words when you were praying a couple of weeks ago, it was just something you just know.
Yes, ma'am.
You just know. Yeah. And I see that in you. And I want to commend you on all the work that you do, because I agree that working together, we got to step out of our comfort zone to do what it takes to make sure those that are in need, we may not meet them all, but some of them, their needs are met.
Yes, ma'am.
So please, ladies and gentlemen, that's today, 11 until 2 at Bubba's on Davis Highway. That's tomorrow, 11 until 2 at Bubba's. Every time I go there, it's full, so I know where it is. And on Sunday as well, it's a fundraiser to make a difference right here at home. Do your part. Go by and make a donation. We'll be back with more with Timothy Chandler right here on Sunshine's Corner.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car, because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Messick Insurance Agency in Pensacola if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Keep going, more. No, stop!
I'm Emily Echeverria, Marketing Communications Director for Council on Aging of West Florida and the host of Coming of Age. Watch our show to find out what we're doing for our seniors and their families, and hear from area experts and local business owners about their programs and services. Want to help? Find out how you can work with us to bring a better future to our seniors. Watch Coming of Age, 3:30 p.m. Wednesdays, only on Blab TV.
This is Wayne at Icon Automotive in Robertsdale, Alabama, and I want to tell you more about our powertrain warranty forever. It comes with any vehicle we sell that has 80,000 miles or less at no additional cost to you. We put our vehicles through a tough safety and mechanical inspection before it can have the powertrain warranty forever, giving you a peace of mind with your purchase. This warranty is good anywhere in the country, and it covers 100% of parts and labor with no mileage limit, and is covered as long as you own the vehicle. Come pick out your dealership car at non-dealership pricing with the powertrain warranty forever at Icon Automotive.
Watch a new episode of Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m. Your tips may be eligible for a cash reward, featuring items about officer training, various aspects of police work, and crime prevention information. You'll hear about upcoming family-friendly engagement events as well. Don't miss Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m.
And welcome back to Sunshine's Corner on this Friday edition. I tell you, I can't believe that we've already made it through Thanksgiving. Wow, how time flies. But as a matter of fact, you've been hearing me say this for the last week. This year has gone by so quickly. But we are doing something now. We're upon that holiday season. And what I love about Timothy, what he's telling me, this is not just something he does on the holidays. You do this year round. I mean, there's so many things that you reach out to do. When you were talking about even with the schools.
Yes, ma'am.
And all these other agencies that need help, that you're there as well. I mean, I think that is absolutely phenomenal. We were talking about even with the veterans, the ones that are, how do we get to reach these that are sometime on the street?
Well, you know, and
it bothers me when I see them, and I mean.
Yeah, I always go back to, because our example is Christ.
Absolutely.
So he went to where he was needed.
Absolutely.
Right? And of course, there was people that said, oh, he's eating dinner with sinners. Well, the sinners needed him, right?
That's where you're going to go.
That's where you're going to go.
Exactly.
So sometimes, if you want to feed the homeless, you got to go where the homeless are.
Exactly.
And you can't be offended by the way they smell, or the way they act, or the way they look. And I think sometimes that's our problem is, you know, we're dressed nice and proper and prim, and we don't know how to get out and do the labor.
Amen.
So I tell people all the time, and being a preacher, so I don't mean to offend anybody.
That's
but
right.
We all love to be the voice of Christ.
Right.
We all love the microphone.
Say
and
it.
To stand good, but to be the hands and feet of Jesus, we have to get out there to the plow. We got to go out there where the need is, because the church is not the building. We're the church.
It's in you.
It's in you. And you got to take the church and the love of Christ out to them. So
absolutely.
And you don't have to be a veteran to make a difference in a veteran's life.
Right.
And so I tell people, one, you just have to love people where they are. If you want to help somebody change, you have to love the alcoholic when he's drunk. You have to love the drug addict with a needle in his arm.
Exactly.
You have to love the veteran when he's having a mental breakdown and he seems, and I hate to use this word with veterans, but he seems crazy to you. You have to love him at that moment.
I agree.
To bring him back to where he needs to be.
I agree.
Or her. And you know, if you're not willing to go out, and that's what I said, if you can't see them where they are, you'll never see them where they can be. And so, you know, you have to get out where the need is.
Most certainly.
And that's how you make the difference.
Most certainly.
So it's great to donate and all that helps people get out there and fund it, but people need volunteers for these organizations.
Absolutely. That's another thing I'm big on. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you every day, if you can find somewhere, go out and volunteer and help. You may not have the money to give, but volunteer your time. You know, come out and do something that's going to be beneficial to somebody else that way. And I think that's a great thing that we sometimes overlook. Well, I don't have the funds, but you have you.
Right.
You know?
Yes, ma'am.
And be that miracle.
That's right.
Oh, God, I'm going to be using that a lot. I'm going to be the miracle.
Be the miracle. That's it.
I love it. Now, with the kids that you have, do you have a number already for this Christmas holiday?
I haven't started, so I start my list on my phone. And so I already have it started with.
He's got, see, he's already on it. He's got, if it's like this list here with all we were reading off earlier, your phone will blow up.
That's right. And so it already starts with, so I have the
oh my goodness.
From the school, and they'll tell me how many boys and girls and stuff like that. And then I've had a couple reach out on Facebook and says, hey, can you help my kids and stuff? So I'll copy and paste it so I know how many kids and their phone number. I say, okay, we'll get up with you as soon as our fundraiser's done, and we'll get bags made.
Goodness gracious!
And so it's just so it's already started. And one of the schools we help, they've already told me they got 41 girls and 53 boys. So it's even bigger this year, which I knew it would be because they've taken on more students this year.
41 girls.
Yes, ma'am.
And 53
boys.
Boys.
And what the kids that we help, they call them Friday friends. And so when I asked, I said, well, what is that? And this was 8 years ago we started this. A Friday friend is a kid that if they didn't give them a bag of food to take home on Friday, they wouldn't eat for the weekend. These are the kids we're helping. They have nothing. Their parents are either in jail, passed away, or they're living on somebody's couch, or they're living with grandmama who's living on Social Security.
Exactly.
Every one of the kids that we're helping are in a dire need. And they're already on the list for the school. They've already been vindicated as needing help. And you know, what I love about the school is they realize, like during the summer, they started food programs to feed these kids during the summer.
Because they don't have any
Because
food.
they don't have anything. And again, my thought process is, I've had kids now that I helped in second grade. They're up in high school, and I saw one of them just a few months ago at a football game I went to with one of my kids. I say, "Oh, Mr. Chandler, do you remember me?" Oh. And so because they got Christmas that year, and it just takes that one act of kindness can change somebody's life. Mm-hmm. And so that's, I mean, it's in the name. All we want to do is be the miracle.
Absolutely. And I mean, I understand what you're saying because I do backpacks and things like that for school every year as well. And when you see a child say, "Do you remember me? You gave me this and I got this." You know, it makes you feel good that it was an impact for them so they can remember.
Right, yes, ma'am.
To come back to say, "I really did appreciate that." Right. I really believe that's why they're doing it. And with the fact with all that you're doing, I want to remind everybody now, don't forget this weekend, you can go out to the fundraiser today, 11 until 2. Tomorrow, 11 until 2, and Sunday as well, 11 until 2.
Yes, ma'am.
So make sure, and that's Bubba's right there on Davis Highway.
Right.
Go right there, and you know Bubba's 33.
33. Bubba's 33. That's right.
Come on, everybody, you know where that is.
Easy to find.
Everybody's there.
That's right. That's right. Just follow the other cars.
Just follow the car because it has not been a time that I've gone by there and the parking lot's not full.
It's normally always, yes. It's
always
busy.
full. So that means that's great service. And with all the things that you're doing, are there other ways that people can donate to the cause? Let's say if they miss one of those.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, they can find me on Facebook. Look up Timothy Chandler. Look up Be the Miracle. You can find us on Facebook, and I can send you, whatever link that helps you do that. And so, any way you can help, it doesn't stop this weekend.
Absolutely.
And again, like I say, I mean, we get requests all the time for different things throughout the year. A kid needs clothes, shoes, whatever it may be.
So all that can be donated.
Absolutely. Yes,
absolutely.
ma'am.
All sizes.
All sizes. Yes,
because somebody's going to be able to use it.
Right.
So think about that, ladies and gentlemen, when you're going out. You know how I know some people like to go shop to put the new stuff in the closet and never use it.
Right, yes, ma'am. So, and that's a lot of stuff we get. Like, hey, I never wore it, the tag's still on it.
It's still on it. So take it to somebody who's going to use it, and a child will be so much appreciative of that.
Yes, ma'am.
And take that initiative to be the miracle.
Yeah.
I got it now.
Yes, ma'am.
Be that miracle today to help out because, as you can see, I mean, he's doing so much, and I just love the fact of that. How many bikes you think you're going to need this year? A lot?
Oh, so we got 30 kids just in my Father's Arrow. Wow. And I'm sure there'll be families that reach out, like my kid wanted a bike and stuff like that. I will say we've been blessed from Adam Harris and his dad Rick Harris. They build custom-made play sets. They donated one to us. We're giving it to they told me, we're donating this to Be the Miracle. You find a needy family.
What's a play set?
Like the swing set and all.
The thing out in the yard.
Out in the yard.
Okay.
Out in the yard. And so we found a family that we ended up having to help with food, and they had 4 kids, and definitely in a poverty level, and they wouldn't be able to get anything. And they're not. I mean, they're made of wood. They are nice, and they custom made. They said, give me the ages of the kids. So they're making it from scratch. They're custom. So Adam Harris and Rick Harris, I mean, just wonderful people, and they're just building it and they're donating it. So about a $2,500.
Ooh, that's a big toy.
Yes, ma'am, that's a big one. So it'll help off. And of course, we're going to do Christmas bags for those 4 kids also. So they're going to get Christmas bags and a play set. So.
What a blessing that is.
Yes, ma'am. So and that again, that takes other people to have that heart to say, hey, we want to help somebody, and this is the best way we know to do it.
Most certainly.
So, I spend most days riding. Another part of the Marine Corps League, we have our Heroes Among Us Fund. And that we've been paying veterans rent, keeping them from getting evicted. We fix cars for veterans. We do all kind of stuff for that. And And so a lot of times I'm riding around with boxes of food to bring to veterans, or either we have a food pantry at the church and stuff like that. So I'll take it to anybody. It's not just veterans. Somebody's hungry, we'll bring them food. But a lot of times I'm bringing food to veterans, and we're paying their rent and stuff. And so so I say that to say, if you have something that you want to give, or you need me to come pick it up or something, I'm available to do that as well. Wow. So because I'm always running around doing something anyhow.
Absolutely. So it is really tough. When you said you sometimes have to pay their rent.
Yes, ma'am.
Really?
We have and I love to mention the people that help me because they're angels. They're part. So Jennifer Height is with our HUD-VASH program with the VA. Uh-huh. And I'll call her and I'll say, hey, there's a homeless veteran I just fed out here on the corner. Here's his information. Can you get him on the list? And so what they do is they validate them and vindicate them and everything that they do to get them housing that either the VA will pay part of it or all of it, or however I don't have that inside, whatever they do over there. I understand. And she'll call me and she'll say, hey, we got one that's in, but because they don't have the funding, but they say, we need help paying the deposit. And we'll pay the deposit, so we get them out of the streets into a house. And so, but several, not too long ago, I had an Army veteran, Purple Heart. He was being evicted from his apartment, and so we went out and paid it, because it's a lot easier to pay somebody's rent and keep them there than it is to take somebody off the streets and put it.
But of course, of course.
And so, or they'll call and say, hey, my car broke down. I didn't have any money in savings. It's going to cost us to get it fixed. I can't go to work with this. And so we'll go get the car fixed. There's a veteran I met the other day. He's an Army veteran, and he said, hey, I hear you can help me with my VA stuff. I said, yeah. He said, somebody told me you give out food. I got a family and 2 kids. I said, yeah, man. I said, let me bring you the food. He says, I'm in Milton. I'll come get it. I said, okay, well, come on. And I give him the paperwork to fill out so I can do his disability. I give him some food. And I said, is there anything else? I said, I really need a job. I said, what'd you do? He said, I was a mechanic for 8 years. He's been working for 2 months now in a mechanic shop.
Come on, Jesus.
So we got him a job. We got him food. We're getting his disability stuff done. And so, I mean, you find out what the need is.
Exactly.
Can I share a quick story?
Let's do that after break.
Okay,
I want to hear this story.
Okay.
I tell you what, this is just beautiful. You see, for this Black Friday that's going on right about now, we're shining some light, because everything that he's talking about, we all should take heed and be a part of being that miracle in somebody's life.
Yes, ma'am.
We got so much more to share with you coming up right after this on Sonshine's Corner.
Welcome to Little John's Big and Tall, where tall men and big men go for style, fit, and comfort. We offer a wide variety of styles and unique brands that service all sizes from large to 14X, as well as tall sizes from large tall to 6X tall. Our knowledgeable staff are here to make sure you have a stress-free experience and answer any of your questions. Little John's has been named Best of Pensacola and Best of the Bay for 4 years in a row. Visit Little John's at 5700 North Davis, or visit us online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com.
It's time to find a health plan that can keep up with your life. A plan that makes getting care convenient, with doctors around the corner.
I can get used to that.
Plus, 24/7 access to care. Plans that keep more money in your pocket, with plan payments as low as $0.
$0. Looks good to me.
Let's find your health solution. Speak to a dedicated Florida Blue agent today. Call 1-850-393-7036 to learn more.
Some attorney ads are really over the top, within-your-face concepts. Not this one, because there's nothing exciting about bankruptcy law. But if you're struggling with credit card debt, medical bills, student loans, repossession, or mortgage payments, you'll want to hear this. Lewis & Jernevoy has helped thousands of people with financial problems for over 20 years. We may be able to help you achieve financial freedom, and that is exciting. Call Lewis & Jernevoy today for a free consultation.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quint Studer, and I am Blab TV.
And welcome back to Sunshine's Corner, this Friday edition. I tell you, I didn't eat too much yesterday. I'm still hungry. Think about that. Guess I go home and get some leftovers, right? But listen, I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving with your family, because I'm sure that you did. And most of you are going to be out shopping, so I want you to keep this top of mind. There's a fundraiser going on that you need to be a part of. It's Bubba 33, right there on Davis Highway, up until 2 o'clock this afternoon, kicking off at 11. Tomorrow 11 to 2 and Sunday 11 to 2.
Yes,
so you can go by there and make a donation to be a part of this fundraiser. Now, we were about to go into something. You want to share a story with me about something that happened. I'm ready to hear this.
Yes, ma'am. So when you pray,
hold on, your mic just fell off. Oh. Put that right back on. There you go. Clip. There you go.
Is that good there?
That's good.
All right. So when you pray every day to be somebody's miracle, like God, just use me today to make a difference, you have to be willing to step into those opportunities that come.
Absolutely.
So I was on Palafox a couple of weeks ago, and I was stepping out of the office I was in, and I heard somebody coming from a distance, and they were just screaming and cussing. And so I stood there, and I'm listening, and you know, it's F Escambia County, F this, F that. And I waited till he come right up on me, and I stepped in front of him. And I says, "Can I help you?" And he said, I said, "Oh, what can I help you with?" And he says, "I just need some water." I mean, I knew he was homeless. I knew he was hurt. I need water. I said, "Okay."
He said, "Water?"
Water. And I'm on Palafox. In fact, right where the station is, I'm right down here at the end of Palafox, where like Miss Autumn's the attorney's office is. All right. So like two buildings down is a little restaurant or something, right? That and real nice gentleman. He come out. He goes, "I own this restaurant." He brought him water. He said, "Anytime you need water, you come over here."
Oh.
And so then I said, "Now what is the need?" Because I knew water wasn't the answer. That was just for them. What's the need? And he says, "I need to get home. My mom's dying." He says, "I can't get any organization to pay for a bus ticket because I lost my license. And it's $36. I can't afford to get my license." So he just walked out of the DMV over here, and he was upset because he couldn't get his license for free.
That's why he was screaming.
That's why he was screaming. I said, "Okay." I said, "Let's go get your license." He starts crying. He said, "You would do that?" I was just cussing you. I said, "Brother, I don't." So I put my arm around him in front of everybody. There's people all in Palafox.
People need to see that.
People need to see it. I put my arm around him and I held him while he cried. I didn't know him.
That's right.
Had no idea. But I knew he was hurting and I knew I could help.
Right.
I took him down, got his license. It was going to be a couple days before we could get the bus ticket. So I called my friend Melissa. She had a bed at the shelter. She got him in the shelter, got him some food, got him a shower. I brought him some clothes, went to Walmart, bought him some clothes.
Listen to that.
And the great part, Melissa called me and says, "I had to take him to the emergency room. He had staph infection in both his legs. He would have died if we didn't step in." And so once he got clear from the hospital, we got him a bus ticket. He went home to see his mom.
But you see, that was strategically planned by God.
Yes.
That was set up that way.
And that's it. So when you pray to be somebody's miracle, when you pray to make a difference, you have to be willing to step into the world that they are in. You don't become that world. You bring them out of that world.
Exactly.
And that's what Christ did. He stepped in. You know, there's a story in the Bible about the 10 lepers.
Of course.
Right? And it says 9 of them were healed, but 1 was made whole. See, and I tell this, and especially in the veterans community, when you have veterans, especially combat veterans, that are hurting, they may have come home physically, but mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, they haven't made it all the way home yet.
Absolutely.
And so we have great programs that can help heal them. But without the love of Christ, they won't be made whole.
Will not be made whole.
Right.
That's
and
right.
the difference is those lepers that were healed, they were healed, but they had scars from it.
Come on.
When you made whole, there's
no scars. No residue
Nothing.
there.
It was never there. Now you can go out and make a difference in somebody else's life.
Absolutely. That is so beautiful. But the fact of it is, usually, because some people would have run from that.
Yes, ma'am.
They would have went, and then when you come, then you're going to throw off at me. They were to act out of my face, right? But no, you did exactly what Jesus said.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Oh, you see what I'm talking about, people? And look what happened, how it ended up. That was to save his life more than one way.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Hear what I'm saying. He had the infection, but you saved his life more than one way.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Right.
And you see, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I'm reaching out to you today. What he's doing, raising funds for this fundraiser that's going on for children in our area. We're asking you to be a part of the miracle, be a part of the change. Go by Bubba's 33 today from 11 until 2. Tomorrow as well, 11 until 2. And Sunday, same thing. You can go out, and if you put your dollar with my dollar with that dollar, those dollars are going to grow.
That's right.
So it will multiply. So let's do that and make a difference in somebody else's life. Think about the children. I'm thinking about the kids that when you say that you went to these, foster homes
Yes,
and
ma'am.
all of that. Can you imagine that? No, I can't. Because I had both my parents. I cannot imagine the fact how they got to be feeling without that somebody to love and everybody's around. And that's got to be detrimental to a child.
Yes.
Can you imagine that pain? No.
And it's heartbreaking. Me and the lead pastor, Mike Gainey, we were doing a jail ministry for a while. And we were going in teaching a Bible study and praying for them. And when you talk to some of the inmates about how they got there, 9 times out of 10, I didn't have nobody love me. I didn't have a father. There was nobody there. And so every kid that we help, in my mind, in my heart, I think we're fighting to keep a kid from going to jail.
Come on now.
That's part of that. And we pray over every bag.
Exactly.
And when I pray, I said, dear Lord, don't let this kid be on the list next year.
Thank you.
Open a way financially, open a way, get them out of this poverty level. So they may talk about prayer not being in schools, but baby, we're bringing it in there. So we're praying over every bag.
Thank you.
And so every time I volunteer in the school, I do reading programs for kids and stuff like that. Every time I volunteer in the school, I'm praying.
I agree.
And I'm prayed up when I go in there.
Amen. You both. I know the feeling.
I've prayed for kids because I'm a volunteer. You can't fire me.
That's right.
So I even had a kid come up and say, my foot hurts. Would you pray for me? Absolutely. Absolutely. So
really?
Absolutely. I sure did. And so, but that's where we have to not be afraid to show the love of Christ and be the voice during that time. And so it's just it's making a difference. It's love.
It's love.
Love covers a multitude of sins.
That's right.
And love heals a lot of brokenness.
Exactly.
And if we can just love people.
That's right.
There's so much hate in the world. We got hate in politics. We got hate.
Oh, God.
I mean, some of you can relate to Thanksgiving. You had family members that you don't want to invite back.
That's right.
But if we show love, there's enough anger, there's enough hate, there's enough fighting. Let's just love each other.
Exactly.
So we can disagree and love each other.
I agree.
But I think we can all agree that we want to help kids in need.
I
and
always
veterans in
tell
need.
this story. It's a gentleman that watched the show.
Yes.
And I tell you, Timothy, but he has called me on several occasions. And he says to me, he says, Sonshine, I don't know you. And then he'll look at me and he said, I want you to know I am a Republican. He said, but you know what? I love you anyway, because every day I watch your show, I learn something new.
Yeah.
He said, doesn't mean that I can't love you.
Right.
Same thing what you're saying. We can love each other. Just
Right.
because your thought may be a little, what you want to do may be a little different from mine, but that don't mean that we
Right.
cannot sit down, talk about it, and still love on each other like we're supposed to.
Right.
You know?
We should be able to break bread.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. And I mean, I know we're not, this is not politics, but we got to the point where if you voted for somebody I didn't vote for, we can't be friends.
That's what I'm saying. That's wrong.
Crazy.
That is so crazy.
That's crazy.
And don't do that.
Right.
Because the Bible also says, love thy neighbor as thyself.
That's right.
Okay?
Well, you know what the problem, some of us don't love ourselves.
That's it. In order to love somebody else, you got to love
Right.
you.
Right.
So I was talking to a friend just about that a few days ago. I said, how can you if you don't love
Right.
yourself, how can I love somebody else?
Right. Some of us need to do some self-healing.
Amen.
And self-forgiveness.
Yes.
Forgive yourself for past mistakes. Forgive yourself for things that you've done. We've all made mistakes.
Don't you know it?
And the Bible says we all, in Romans,
that's right.
we've all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God.
Yes, sir.
So we all need
right.
forgiveness. We
No
all
doubt.
need grace.
Yes, Lord. And His grace is sufficient for you.
That's right. That's right. So
you and I
forgive
have in
yourself.
church.
That's it. That's it. So, hey, we can take them an offering right now.
That's right.
So forgive yourself. Move past it. There's a reason why your rearview mirror is a lot smaller than the windshield.
Amen.
Because you're supposed to be looking ahead.
Oh, I'm going to
the past
use
in the
that.
past. Leave the past in the past.
You cannot continue to look back.
Nope.
You're going to stumble and fall.
You'll cause a wreck. That's right. And then you'll wreck somebody else's life.
Exactly.
So leave it in the past.
Oh, I'm going to use that. You're
That's
going to hear
right.
me talking about that, Pastor, a lot.
We're gonna have. You know what? Let's do this every day. We'll have a revival.
There you go.
We'll just meet here and talk.
I could do it every day.
We could just pick a subject.
I mean,
they could call in and tell us, hey, this is what we want y'all to talk about.
Now you're gonna be happy because I got something coming up first of the year. You will be a part of it.
I'm here. I'm here. You let me know.
And everybody, please make sure you go out this weekend. It's after Thanksgiving. Let's give thanks for those who don't have.
Right.
Let's give thanks by reaching a little bit deeper to help those that are in need. The children, the veterans, anybody else that you see. But what I want you to do today is the fundraiser kicks off at 11 o'clock today. They're at Bubba's 33 on Davis Highway. It's going to be tomorrow, Saturday, same hours, 11 until 2. Sunday, same hours, 11 until 2. Now, if you did not get that, go to his Facebook page, Timothy Chandler.
Yes, ma'am.
And you'll find out a lot right there. He'll reach back out to you.
Absolutely.
And get things taken care of. And that's what we're talking about, working together to make a change. And show somebody else that you love them.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Love is an action word.
It is an action word.
Yes, it is. So come on, let's make a difference.
Let's do it.
I am so glad that we have reconnected from the time that we did a long, long time ago. But now I think it's all about God's time, and He brought us back together for a reason.
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe that with everything that flows through me. And I just appreciate all that you do.
Yes, ma'am.
And the fact that you are making a difference. If it's one child at a time.
Right.
But you're making a difference.
Yes, ma'am.
And that will culminate to something huge.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is what I want you to do, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be, okay, I know how it is during the holiday season. We tend to go out and spend a lot. But let's think about somebody who's less fortunate than you.
Yes.
Let's think of somebody, that child that's in need greater than you, because you've been blessed right now that you can take care of your own and give them what they need. Go by the fundraising event that's being done by Timothy Chandler. I'm going to call him Pastor Timothy Chandler, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Go by there on today from 11 until 2, tomorrow 11 until 2, as well as Sunday at Bubba's 33 right there on Davis Highway, right behind BJ's. I'm sure you're going to be going in there to do what you got to do, so take that time. So tell everybody what you want them to do before we get out of here. Can you believe our time is up?
Already. Well, that's what happens when you're making a difference.
Amen.
You're having fun.
It goes fast.
Yes,
Just
right.
give them everybody what you want them, how they can help you.
All right, so just like she said, come on by Bubba's. All weekend long we'll be there. And if you can't make it during those times, you can see Shannon or TJ, and you can leave a donation with them. I promise you they'll get it to me. Or look me up on Facebook. If it's easier for you, I can show you the Cash App, Venmo, any way that's easy for you to pay and send a donation. And throughout the year, and I want to say this too: if you need help, reach out.
Exactly.
So if there's something that I can do for you, reach out. And I love you and I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Everybody, I've got to get out of here. I'll leave you as I do every day. Never, ever lose your focus. Always remember to keep God first in whatever you do. Guarantee if you do it that way, you're going to be a total success. Until 9 o'clock in the morning, know that I love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep shining while I'm gone. And thank you, Pastor.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.